Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Monday, the 2nd of December, 2024, about 6:10 p.m. Central Time. Can you believe a month from now we'll be in 2025? Wow. I was thinking about that today. Amazing, isn't it? Down a little bit in stock indices tonight, but there's a lot of noise here. And the reason we're going to get noise is this is a huge jobs week. We're going to get the JOLTS report tomorrow. I'll get into that in a minute with you. We are going to get ADP, the Challenger Gray numbers, and we're going to finish off at the end of the week with the jobs report, where they're looking already for about a 200,000 job gain. In the energy markets here, you came down today. You're getting a little bit of a bounce in the early evening trade. OPEC says that they will meet on Thursday and make their announcement as to what they're going to do. I think most people expect them to try to lift production at some point. When they can do it, I don't know. They might say January and then cancel it again. You just don't know. So I want to see what they're doing. Remember, if they actually increase production by the amounts that they've said in the past, you're probably taking this market down again pretty good. Maybe you could drop another $8, $9 if they really put that back on the market, unless Chinese demand were to pick up, unless the U.S. sanctions and stops the oil from Iran and Venezuela under Trump. And that could be what they wait for. They could just wait for the point there where, okay, they're going to sanction, they're going to stop that oil flow if we can. The word is if we can, unlike Biden, who had the blinders on and says they're not doing it, they're not doing it. He knew they were doing it. He wanted for his election to hope that he would get low energy prices, which he did accomplish, but he allowed Russia to get its oil out there. He allowed so many different things. What about him giving his son a pardon, all right? I expected that all the way through. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a father, and they were going to sentence Hunter this week. Sure, there'd be appeals and so on. He wouldn't go to jail right now, but his route was from day one, in my opinion. He was going to give his son the pardon, and the heck with everybody. I'm the president, I can do it, and at the end of the day, I'm a dad, I can do it, I have the power. How would it go down that I didn't do it? Sounded good for the election to buy votes, but that's all he is. He's a professional liar politician. That's the way I view him. All right. In the nat gas, you're down here. And by the way, I've got my own problems with Trump too. So don't write me and say, oh, there's Ira's colors. Ira's colors are simple. I like honest people. When you take the market here, I'm still looking at nat gas from an overall negative point of view. In my report tonight, I point out how much natural gas we have going into winter now. And this is the most we have had in storage since 2016. You heard me, the most. And this is when you start taking it out. So this cold weather is what you expect, and that's how it works. But you do realize, you're 3 months away, you won't be drawing this way anymore. So it all changes again, but you have those large numbers. Before I get too far into talking here, I want to remind you that, let's get to this right now if we could. This is Cyber Week for us. So a lot of you are taking advantage of the sale that we have. 50% off any one-year subscription service to the futures, the combo package of futures, and the Spider ETF stock market video, just the stock market video itself, or just the futures video, or any way that you want to do it. It's only available to newer returning subscribers. Go to iraepstein.com. And from the iraepstein.com, just go to the word research or move your cursor at any point while I'm speaking up to the top there, and you should see an icon, and on that icon, give it a click. Now, when you get there, by default, we default everything to a subscription for a month. You'll see a toggle switch. You see them on all the websites. Give it a click. It'll move to the yearlies for everything. And don't worry about the price. Look at the price there. Put it in your cart. When you go to pay, the 50% off will show. That's the way that we did it, and it shouldn't be a problem for anybody. I promise you, we will honor what we should honor. All right. So in the news, I was just covering that. You get Redbook sales. They've been running about 4.9% week compared to week and week compared to a year ago. That's what they've been running, their 5% level. But the important number is going to be the JOLTS number. That's the job opening and the labor turnover. And that survey is going to be important. The job openings last time were 7.443 million. So we'll see if that number goes up, down, and how the market wants to respond. And then we'll see if people are still holding on to the jobs they have as much as they were in the last reports. That's been something that has been going on. Employees realize that pay increases are over. You're not going to jump from job to job and get more anymore. We're through that part of the market. And now the question is job security, and that seems to be how people are looking at it. So I'd be looking at all that. All right, let's go back to the charts. So as I was saying, bonds and notes, we are around 4.183 in the 10-year note. So that's a reasonably low number. Now, when we look at gold, I wouldn't be surprised if we head back and want to challenge, and I think I said this to you last week, back to the 18-week average of closes, 26.1550, to see what the market's made out of. When we look at the daily chart, you had that vertical price drop, the rally, and I showed you Fibonacci a week ago. You rallied up about 2/3 of the way, and you've since slipped back in the marketplace. The trend is up on the swing line. The brown line is a swing line, and there are 5 rules to connect it to the line before it. And I teach them in my charting course, and what they do is they tell you in a simplistic way, are you making higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows? Where are you in a very certain manner, rather than you going and, let me just see something here, if I can do this and bring the market back. Rather than you guessing here, where's the highs and the lows? To me, this makes just so much more sense, and it's so much easier. If you take out 26.44.10 on the February gold, the odds then favor that you're going to go down. So pay attention to that. Where's the battle? You've been fighting in the February gold at the 18-day average of closes. If the market falls, it's interesting because the major supports, the first one is the 100-day moving average at 26.20.90, and boy, that's very close to that 26.15 level, isn't it? So you can see that there's some coming together of these numbers, and you've got the Bollinger Band sort of hanging in here just behind the scenes with support closer to 25.78. Momentum-wise, no real story. It's just drifting sideways. The market hasn't done much going tonight. The bulls have control of the market. You have the swing line up. Prices for the moment are over the 18-day average of closes. So swing line up, bias up, momentum certainly not pointing down. The gold-silver ratio just has been hanging here at the 86 level, which favors gold over silver. And you can see how the silver hasn't been able to get much going here. It's sort of still caught in no man's land, fighting a battle consistently at the 100-day average in green, up to the upper 18-day average, and not able to get over those numbers. At least gold is over it, and that's why it's a little bit stronger. In the copper market, it acts like it might want to bounce a little here. And if it bounces, to know we've got anything, it's got to get itself right up through this high, and then it might be able to get up to the 18-day average of closes. But the first real resistance is about $2.80 from here at 417.40. That's the first resistance point. Platinum. Keep your eye on platinum. It has a tendency coming up in December to rally not only through December, and the trade seasonally hasn't kicked in just yet, but right through January. So I'll be watching this, and as I told you, I thought the market would have trouble here, and we got where I thought. Now I think the market's going to give you a different setup and try to build a base to move higher. In the dollar index, the correction in the dollar, I think, ran its course. Now what's the next move? It's going to battle, and it's doing it 3 days in a row at the 18-day average, looking for the next direction in the market. I happen to think the dollar's going to stay strong into early 2025, and then we'll get to see what really takes place. There's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of what does Trump do and not do. There's a lot of what he said he's going to do and what's the reality of what he does. Again, he knows the art of negotiating. He's got the stick. He's using it before he even becomes president to tell these countries what he expects. And if they don't do it, He will launch it. And what gives him the power isn't military might, it's economic might right now. So that's very important. I'm not saying we're not strong militarily. I'm saying it's the economic might that he's really threatening these countries with, and that becomes the interesting issue. Again, if you'd like to take advantage of the sale, it's simple. Move your cursor to the top right up here, 50% off. It's Cyber Week. We generally get a lot of people coming in, and no, you will not get this discount for anything I do at Christmas. So this is the best you're going to get. Hope you take advantage. I'm Ira. You have a great day.